Hiya, I'm Jasmine Swan and I'm the set and costume designer for Tide Jetty. It completely depends from project to project how I approach it, but a lot of the time I'll read the script and kind of do a breakdown of the different scenes, which characters are in which scenes, are there details like specific stage directions in the script which we have to adhere to? Do we have to adhere to them? Can we challenge that, just to get like an overall sense of the play and the key locations, and then trying to figure out a way with the director to, because sometimes you could have a script and it could have 20 different locations in it, but how do you show that on stage in a simple way? And then I'm a really visual person, so I like Pinterest, gather images, mood board, and sketching and things. So I studied theatre performance design at university. I went to Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, so I was there for 3 years and I graduated like 2.5 years ago. I spent my first year out mainly assisting more established set designers. Quite a lot of them were doing like shows in the West End and stuff, and it was amazing to work on those like huge productions, but kind of shadow them, but also learn from the beginning basically. And yeah, I've been freelance for like the last 2.5 years. I think we started quite visually, didn't we? Mm-hmm. We would you showed me those pictures of different things on Pinterest that you were looking at, and yeah, I think we were always really interested in skylines and the broadness of the landscape, and how do you do that in a 5 by 5 metre square that's got a tour and be assembled and deassembled by the actors on each at each venue. And then we went on a field trip, which was great, and took loads of pictures and inspiration from that. Mm-hmm. I think that's then through conversations with the director about the practicalities of making that design happen, also dependent on budget, what's achievable, and yes, you can have a really broad, great design statement, but what's the point if it's not serving the text or the actors, or if it's a massive hindrance to the actors, then it's not the priority. I think it completely depends from show to show, but say and all of the different departments, like when you work alongside each other, like you make something, the end result was a lot better. I'd say I'd mainly, the other departments which I work alongside with are lighting. I wouldn't say that I've had that much like one-on-one of a creative relationship with, say, a sound designer as much as I have with lighting, but that's because lighting, I've worked with lighting designers before where the lighting would affect the different colours of the costumes, or a lot of sets I think they're great when you've got lighting embedded into the set, especially with this. So our fabric frames, it'll be great to work with a lighting designer to create our sunsets or our nighttime scenes. I think we just tried to keep it as simple as possible, but to keep it as simple as possible, so in terms of the space which we've got, in each venue, the get in, get out times, the budget which is available to us, but to also give us as much flexibility as we can. So like we were saying, we start with a blank open space and then add different uprights or different planks of wood, and just putting a few more objects in the space, how does that change the dynamic? I think it's a really tricky job. But it's about having like imagination and be able to be able to come up with a concept in your head, but then there's no point just having a concept for something. It's actually got to be practical, and like we were saying, not set too many limitations for the actors, and it's got to be there to serve the piece. And on the one hand, you've got to be quite like creative about it, but then you have to be quite like methodical as well.